Hey folks, welcome back. Today I have something that a lot of people have been waiting for, and that is these. If you don't know what these are, welcome to FPV. This is where we fly little drones with cameras built into them that we see through these. These are the Orqa Fpv One Goggles. These have just hit the streets for retail. I know there's some early backers that got theirs, but this is a retail set, and these are making big waves in the FPV industry. This is Orqa's first shot at FPV goggles, and I have to be honest, if they don't hit it out of the park the first time, they may not last. But I tell you what, I think they may have done it. I think they may have made a product that rivals, if not bests, Fatshark. But it's not all roses. First off, I want to get this out of the way. These are not my goggles. These are a good friend of mine's. He let me borrow them. He purchased these a couple months ago, and he finally got his, and he's graciously letting me borrow them. So you may see things that are a little different. I'm not going to really get too deep into this. I do have a set of my own that I purchased on the way. They just, I didn't make the first batch cutoff, but I did get in during the free FPV Connect promo. But anyways, let's get into this. So these are very different looking compared to what we're used to with the traditional Fatsharks. And I got a set of my HDO2s right here, and we will be talking about the differences here a little bit. First things first, the fit and finish of this is on another level. The fit and finish of these is beyond what Fatshark has produced. The seams between the pieces of plastic, they are just razor sharp, super clean lines. There's not a gap, a lip, an edge. There's nothing around this thing. These things are just sculpted out of granite. These things are really, really, really well built. I can't stress enough how well built these are. You really have to get them in your hands to take a look at them. Like every mold line is just perfect. Really impressed. The IPD adjustments are nice, positive clicks. They're not going to move around on you at all. This does not have individual focusing like the Fatshark HDO2s do, but if you're not in that sweet spot that the Fatsharks will focus on, you can still use the old traditional diopters. So there is one big difference right there. The next big difference is the technology in these. These things are a full-fledged computer, and with that they get hot. They have two different fans, one that runs to just cool the electronics in this thing. The other one is the one that blows on your eyeballs to dry them out. Oh yeah, and to defog the lenses. So there is way more going on inside of these things than pretty much any other goggle on the market besides maybe the DJI, but that's just because they're doing their own thing. It does have a extra module bay over here on the side, and this is where the FPV Connect module is supposed to go, and that's supposed to offer things like wireless updates and live streaming and things like that. It's not out, so we'll see what we get. I haven't updated the firmware on this. This is running firmware version 1.1.3, so keep that in mind as I talk about these, because that's going to come up here in a little bit. Something that Fatshark has fought forever was having a power button, and it has a power button, and you can set it to work on several different modes, but I've heard that there's a bug right now that if you set it to like a double click, it'll break the goggles. I can't confirm that, but that's just something I heard, and I'm not going to mess with it since, again, these aren't mine. Now, with that said, I will admit that I have bumped this button way too many times to be comfortable with at this point. And of course, I'm just feeling around trying to find buttons for like recording and going through the DVRs and the menus. And as soon as you bump it like that, boom, shuts the goggles off. These goggles do take a little bit to boot up. I'd say it's anywhere from like 5 to 7 seconds. So it's not like put power on and you're good to go. It takes a little bit. They're integrated with the Immersion RC rapid fire module. They work hand in hand with that just fine. Got another button over here for your fan. DVR controls over here and main menu controls, and these will go through your bands and channels on your module. And that's all pretty much what we expect. Another thing with these is the DVR that's inside of this is way better than the Fatshark. It's way better than the PowerPlay. It's even better than the DJI recording capabilities through the analog input. It is just so much better, and I'll play a little clip of it right here. Talking flying is tough. The screens are very clear, very good picture quality, very good color reproduction for OLEDs. You know, they're OLED screens just like the HDOs. The DVR is supposed to be really good in this. I kind of agree. The screens have a weird pincushion effect, like where they're just stretched out the corners. You don't notice it while you're flying, but if you sit there and start looking around, you'll see it. And it can be kind of annoying, but while you're flying, it's not really a thing. So yeah, as you can see, the DVR is quite clear. A couple of neat little features. It has this little sensor here to shut the OLED screens off when your face isn't buried in the goggles. Personally, I'd probably just turn that off because, well, I don't know. I guess I just don't trust things like that. Not that I don't have a reason to trust them. I just don't. The fit on these to your face is very reminiscent of the older Fatshark models like the HDOs. Whereas the HDO2s don't fit all that great out of the box, at least for my face, and everybody's fit's a little bit different. But if older Fatshark models fit your face really well, these are probably going to fit just fine. It does come with a couple different foam pads. This is the leatherette. There's also like a neoprene, kind of like what the newbie drone guys sell. I do prefer the leatherette one myself, but you know, everybody's got their own preference on that. But like I said, the HDO2s, they fit terrible out of the box. Same thing with the DJI goggles. They're meant to fit a brick wall. I don't know who they're designed for. But my HDO2s, I've modded them enough with different foams and different wedges where they fit pretty darn comfortably, and I do very much enjoy flying with those. Let's see, what else? If you do have a bigger nose, big schnoz, you may not like this. It may rub on your nose a little bit here. You may be able to mitigate that by moving the foam pad around a little bit, but it does have kind of a shallower nose well than some of the other goggles out there. But for my face, like I said, if the Fatshark, the older Fatsharks like the HDOs fit you, these will fit just fine. SD card is right there. Super easy to get to, unlike Fatshark. So yeah, your SD card goes right there. Now let's talk about the viewing experience. Flying these, the screens are beautiful. They are just as beautiful as the HDO2s. I'd swear they're the exact same screen. The screens look really good. You do get that tunnel feeling because you've got almost like the optic tunnel, then you've got the screen behind it. You kind of can see this outer ring like right here when you're flying, and it can bother you if you're like really looking for it. But if you don't think about it, you start to forget about it. Just focus on how beautiful the screen is. The field of view is huge. A big advantage of the Orcas is they're supposed to be pushing a firmware update to allow you to adjust the field of view down. I know quite a few people that like the HDO2s, or sorry, they like the HDOs versus the HDO2s because they have a smaller field of view. They want to look at a smaller picture rather than a super big immersive one, and that's going to be personal preference. I personally like a bigger immersive experience up to a certain point. They do have pin cushioning where the edges of the screen kind of like almost like stretch outward. It's really weird. When you're sitting there looking around, you notice it, and it's kind of funky, but when you're flying, again, you don't notice it because you're focusing on the center of the screen. The light leakage is, there is a lot of light leakage. There is a lot of light leakage. Words, come on, words. There is a lot of light leakage. Whew, got it. Coming from the goggles, and it's not because of the fit to your face. It's leaking between the Velcro and the backing of the foam pad here. And it's a perfect ring all the way around the entire goggle. You get a light leak, you get light leakage. It's a tiny little strip, but it's coming from between these two pieces here. The Velcro on the goggle itself is almost like the dual lock material, and then the material on the foam is just cloth, so you do get a layer of light around the entire goggle, and I really don't know what you can do about that besides replacing the actual hook part on the goggle itself. It's not a lot of light leakage, but it's all over the place, and there's really nothing you do to make it better. So Orqa really should probably take a revisit that, because that is not ideal. It's not a really great setup, but it's not terrible. It's not because of the fit. It's, again, because of the two different materials they use to attach the foam to the goggle itself. Yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot I can tell you about it right now. I've only flown these for a couple days. I really do like them. Are they going to replace my HDO2s? Yeah, probably. I got to fly them a lot more, but they're probably going to be my replacements. As soon as I get my set of Orqas, they're probably going to replace my HDO2s. But what you really need to be asking yourself, if you are in the market for goggles right now, and if you are, I hope you click through the affiliate links down in the description below. It would really help me out. Is you got to ask yourself, Orqas, HDO2s, which one would you get? Definitely go and find a buddy, find a field, find somebody who has a set and try them on. Because, it's like a pair of boots. If they don't fit good the day you put them on, they're never going to fit good without, modifications. And as you can see, my HDOs, I've got different foam, I got different wedges. I've done a lot to make these feel good, but I do really, really like these. Time will tell if the electronics hold up in this, because this is a unknown. I mean, this is their first shot at it. Who knows what bugs are going to creep up 6 months down the road? Maybe every one of these things fails. I mean, hell, my Fatsharks are not even a couple, they're maybe 4 months old and the fan's already gone out on them. So, I mean, things fail. What is the serviceability going to be like this? Am I going to be able to open this up and replace the fan without too much hassle? This one, I mean, everybody knows how to take Fatsharks apart. They're stupid simple. This, I mean, I haven't found a fastener on it yet, which maybe we should tear these apart. You want? Well, yeah, let's tear these down. All right, let's get these things open and take a look. Where's my screwdriver at? No, I promised the guy that I borrowed them from that I wouldn't tear them apart. He kind of knows that if he wouldn't say that, I probably would start tearing them apart. So no, Joel, I'm not going to tear them apart. But yeah, I mean, both of these you still need to buy a module. This has a crap DVR. If you want a good DVR, you got to buy like the Power Play, which is a fantastic DVR and a power pack. This does come with a battery. This is the battery they send with you. It's pretty neat. There's no specs on it, and if I want specs, I just have to go look on the internet like everybody else. Anyways, it does come with a battery, so that's kind of cool. But the real elephant in the room is this. DJI. Why not buy DJI? Yeah, they're the evil empire. I get it. I understand why people have issues with it. I honestly don't like registering all my stuff to DJI, but if you want the clearest FPV signal in the market, in the game, you're going to have to go with DJI. And DJI keeps changing up their stuff. They keep changing their firmware. They support analog input. This is a no goggle mod. I mean, I haven't modified anything in the goggles. I just took off the faceplate, put a new one on, and this thing plays analog just fine. Plays great with analog. I've had zero issues with it. I've been flying it a lot on analog. It's not OLED, but it's really good LCDs. But none of these will bring you HD video. Now the Orqa folks have kind of hinted around that they plan on something digital, supporting something digital. I don't know how they're going to do that. I'll believe it when I see it, but if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be these guys, because this certainly isn't going to do it without a ground station like the Bitefrost. But, I mean, for the price, I don't know, man. Like, it's hard to suggest anything other than the DJI goggles. And if you don't want to support DJI, well, all right, don't. I mean, vote with your dollars. Then you got to kind of ask yourself, what about these two? Or why not step down to like the Sky Zone, something even cheaper, and just wait for the digital analog wars to hash themselves out, or wait for the FA to destroy the hobby. I don't know. I mean, there's so many options here. It's never been a better time to be in this hobby. We have a plethora of super awesome equipment, between traditional analog goggles, digital goggles, that I'm telling you what, man, if you haven't tried DJI, don't do it. You'll want it. It is so good. This will take money out of your pocket if you try these things. I guarantee it. Yeah, the fit is garbage. Yep. We beat that dead horse. So yeah, a few of the cons that I've had with the Orqas has to do with the software. I've had quite a few issues with it. I put a new SD card in here, wouldn't recognize it. Tried another SD card, wouldn't recognize it. Formatted in my computer, wouldn't recognize it. Put it back in, it recognized it. So it was really weird. It started recognizing it 4 or 5 tries later, and I've had a few flights where the goggles kind of lock up. The video doesn't lock up, but you know, up in the top right hand corner where you see your record light, your DVR is going, I stopped flying, goggles wouldn't respond. Tried turning them off, wouldn't respond. None of the inputs responded. I couldn't change the bands and channels. It was really, really strange. I had to actually pull the battery out and plug it back in, which made me lose my DVR, which kind of sucks because really, I was shit hot on that flight, or at least that's what I'm going to say I was. But so there are some bugs with the software, and I'm hoping that future firmware updates will fix that, which we'll get firmware updates with this. Whereas the Fatsharks, I don't know if they've ever pushed a firmware update. You kind of get what you get. They don't change a whole lot because they have a proven formula that works. These guys are swinging for the fences, and they kind of have to. And I think they did it. I think these are going to be, if they fit you, these are probably going to be the goggle for you. All right, folks, that's about all I got on this. This is just kind of a quick initial look, review, feel, touch, smell of the Orqas. I gotta say, these are really good. These are really darn good. If you're in the market, you gotta at least consider these. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking us out. If you're curious about these products, check the video description and click through those links if you want to help me out. And if you have any other questions about these that you want me to answer, please put them in the description below. Hit me up privately. I do have a set on the way, so I will be definitely diving deeper into these as time goes on. All right, folks, thanks for stopping by, and I will see y'all next time.